If 1v1 didn't clip it, then it ain't clipped right.
Question for Nas was because the drama was where it's going to happen, what platform it's going to happen on, and Nas is playing on the next chapter pay per view. And my question was because Nas wanted to be in the trenches or whatever, wherever he wanted to be. And Nas is my guy too, so like there's no bias in this. And my question was, could you give Friga the payday that you're being given for the next chapter one? And I get it, like you don't. We don't have to get into specifics. Like I'm not asked. Like it's not about pocket watching. It's just like a genuine question. If you want the game to happen on your platform, could you provide the same payday? Because that the payday is what makes the games happen. Like it just is what it is, bro. I'm not pocket watching. I love everybody succeeding. Like I'm not. If you know me in real life, like I root for everybody. I'm not that. I'm not pocket watching. I'm not hateful. But I asked a simple question, like, could you give Friga the payday that you're getting? Because that's how the game happens. And yeah, Street Stars was like, oh, so it's about money now, bro. That's the reality. We're all grown-ups. We all have bills to pay, and these guys are not gonna play without getting paid. That just is what it is. So if I'm being too real about it, let me step out of the conversation. And Dev, I would love to hear. Can I get Dev in here? Let me see if I can get Dev in here, because I feel like he is. And Dev, I don't feel like there's any way you would disagree with that either. The answer is yes. I gotta get Dev in here. This live and just extend the conversation just to see, like, am I tripping? Am I tripping?
That's an easy answer, bro.
All right, talk to me.
You sure you want? Cause I know you connected to next chapter, so you sure you want me to answer this?
Hold on. That's the
You
thing.
see?
I
That's right. You don't want me to tell the truth, right?
hold on. I am not next chapter. I'm an individual. I commentate for them. Scotty has been a friend, but I'm not like representing them. Nas is my guy too. That's my.
Well, give you the answer. Of course, they can make the money. That they can both get the same payday on any channel on a lot of different platforms. Think about this. Me and Frigga did a matchup, and this was 2020. Me and Frigga did a matchup and made $110,000 just us two playing.
I was $10 of those dollars bought that game.
Okay, and the site was ran by a crackhead. So there's plenty of things that like people gonna pay for what they pay for. You gotta think about some of the pay-per-view matchups. They happen on pay-per-view. Like they're not happening on certain people's platform or they're happening like on a medium. So if you just like the demand is there, people want to watch the game. They want to watch the game, so they're gonna show up. Whether it's ran on off the dribble, whether it's ran on Vimeo, whether it's ran on, it doesn't matter. You're gonna get the same payday. So you got to think. I remember it was $111,000. So like think about that, and we split it down the middle.
Right.
We told everybody we was going to play for $10,000. I'm gonna be honest, it wasn't true. Like because this doesn't work unless everybody gets paid. There's a few things that need to happen. So I don't want anybody to be tricked into thinking that this game can't happen
Oh,
if it's not on next chapter.
oh,
That's foolish thinking. So now let me explain this to you. So like even if y'all did the game was to happen in between or whatever, even if it was on Street Stars, even if it was off the dribble, you could still give the game, the actual game to be played or on next chapter's YouTube. So like it happens live, then you get the YouTube. Now I understand what next chapter is trying to build, so that's understandable. So they're gonna make it. I would do the same thing, but not necessarily. But like I get what they're trying to do. They're gonna try to debug the market, right? And just like, hey, this is where it's supposed to happen. This is the only way that should happen because that's the only way people will make money. It's not true. It's not true. And but the thing is, when you're trying to build something, you want to sell out for that. So I see both sides. But at the end of the day, here's what I think should happen. There should be three games. This is serious. This is something that everybody wants to see. And if it ends up in a blowout, it'll ruin the other two games. But the first game should be Street Stars or whatever, because I think most people have friggin' number one. The second game should be on next chapter. And then the third game should be at a whatever. Like it should be in the middle. I don't know what happens because if you're working on a collab, everybody should eat off of this. Everybody. Like I look at the podcasting world right now, and not even to just talk hella and not let you talk, but you know, I just want to let everybody know how it goes. Like the podcasting world, all these dudes are talking to each other. Like, how much you getting paid? How much is DraftKings paying you? How much is this? So everybody can eat. You know, this is something. It is the biggest matchup that can happen in the 1v1 space, and if it's not done right or it doesn't happen, it ruins the space. Just like you remember, 5-on-5 was the move,
Yeah.
right? 5-on-5 was the move, and now it's just like, what happened to the 5-on-5 because people couldn't, you know, it was a lot of greed and there was money and the caffeine went away.
Yep.
Who was paying $100,000 for the matchups? Like, what are we talking about? So, you know, I want to see it happen. I want to see both guys get paid, and that's just the end of the story. Because, like, at the end of the day, next chapter's still gonna get paid if they throw the videos on their channel. You know, but if you're looking for a real way to collab, this is just how it needs to be done, bro. Like, that's just what it is. What it is.
I don't think that. Why do you feel like next chapter is trying to paint that as the only way the game happened? Because they were about to move on. Like it got to the point in negotiation where it was like, and they did this on live, so this is where it was just like, this game's not going to happen. It was going to happen.
It wasn't.
Well, yeah, I don't know. That's Friga's decision. Like I said, I'm not like the next chapter. I don't represent that. You know, but I just feel like it was a genuine question, and all I'm saying is I thought it was like taken as like I'm pocket watching or something. I wasn't.
No, I didn't think it was. It's just the truth, though. What you're saying is true.
Yeah.
What you're saying is true. It's not like false or anything. Like I understand, you know, but at the same time, if the matchup, if the sponsor knows, and I deal with sponsors, if the sponsor knows that you're gonna get paid a lot, right, from this matchup, they're gonna go wherever you go because Friga is the draw. Nas is the draw, and Friga's a huge draw. He means a lot to the YouTube space. You know what I'm saying? Like people are paying him to go places. When he comes, numbers go up. So like it doesn't matter where Friga goes, the money's gonna come.
Right.
That's just what it is. So it doesn't matter if they play it on next chapter. It doesn't matter if they do it on Devontae Friga's YouTube page. It doesn't matter if they do it. They're gonna show up. The sponsor will come. The money's gonna come, and everybody's gonna eat if they do things right. But like at the end of the day, man, like I said in the podcasting world, everybody's. How much you getting paid for this? How much? And they're all eating right now. Because I remember, why everybody got a doggone? Why everybody got a podcast now? Like all the NBA dudes, it's a podcast here, podcast there. It's like too many, but they're all eating.
So then, doesn't it come down to who can provide the biggest bag for the player? Isn't that like what it comes down to for the player's sake?
What Nas showed me, for the contract was. I'll be straight up honest. I didn't think that it was the right move for him. I thought it was a great move for next chapter, and I get why next chapter did because they built a platform. They built a great platform to where they're able to play dudes like this. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even mad at it. I'm not mad at it either side. But I also, you know, I'll be telling. I just said this, kind of brought this up. You don't know how long this is going to be popping.
Yeah.
So while it is, you have to make bread. You have to make sure everybody gets paid. And like, you know, you never know what somebody can do with $50,000. They can flip that and turn it into $1 million one day, whatever. But if you're just getting like little pennies but from next chapter, you know how it goes, right? They got a whole big production of guys that they got to pay, and they're making that number is going to go up if they go to pay-per-view route.
Yeah.
So, you know, it is what it is. I respect what Scotty and Friga built. But at the same time, like I respect what Nas built.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like he been going everywhere and playing everybody. You know, maybe the numbers, you know, well, I can't even say that. Because now when I look at when Nas posts, he's still getting he's still getting 6 digits now. Yeah. And these 6 digits, I look at next chapter, they're starting to go down. Theirs going down too over time, but like theirs used to be $1 million. Just for random matchups, you know? So like it's going down, but this could be something that like booms it. You know, like really booms it, and then you start. But my thing, this is what I think should really happen though, Austin. Hear me out on this. When I played against Friga, before I played against him, I was looking at everything he did, everybody he played. And I went and played all of them.
Right.
So the only thing I can think of in recent memory is Simba, and Friga lost that matchup, and then Nas won that matchup. So it could lose a little bit of steam. But if he goes and beats Nesco and he goes and beats School, that really makes like something you gotta watch this
Yeah.
stuff, or you gotta watch this stuff. So in my opinion, because the build up is what matters. The build up is like it's sick. Like it's
Right.
like I don't know if you watch like pay per view or on HBO 24/7 when Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao was fighting. They had a whole series leading up into
Yeah.
this fight that kept everybody locked in. You look at Jake Paul; he's posted on his YouTube.
And
What he's making.
Netflix did Jake Paul and Tyson. I watched that whole thing.
You
It
know
was
what I'm saying?
fired.
It's so much bread in all this stuff, and they're right there. And I like when their chapters built, like they even got commentators, they got all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it the right way, and they could be the next whatever version. But the thing is, man, these matchups they're gonna run thin. You got to start building the characters.
My question for you after it for 10 years, 'cause I was in the 5-on-5 transition. I've seen like at least one transition 5-on-5 101. So what do you see this just dying out again like the fives, or is it more sustainable 1-on-1? Like
You got to be able to get the guys in there. You got to be able to bring everybody who. I want to see Kyrie. I want to see all these other guys. I would love to see Nas versus Kyrie. I would love it. And these dudes, like I'm talking to them like on a daily. They're trying.
they're tuned
Like,
in.
yeah, I can play. I can play. Like so, when I play against Spencer or some of these other guys, we play real light. But at the same time, I was talking to them behind the scenes, like, if you can get a bag, would you come play? And they're like, yeah. I was like, it's not against your contract, nah. I can get to play, for certain things. Now, the same way you get them in the Drew League and all that stuff, it has to be somewhere NBA sanctioned. But there's a way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way to do it. But some of these dudes don't want to play because of like the weird energy that you can get from it. The unnecessary, like some of them just want to hoop.
Right.
But like, it comes with a certain sense or a certain level of energy that you got to have. I think Cam is kind of a good measure. Because Cam always brings it, you know what I'm saying? He's always talking. Cam's so smart. He's always like that same dude. It's like man, this dude on drugs, but that's just him. Like he could turn it up, and then when it's time to turn it off, he can turn it off. Like, but like I said, some of the NBA dudes don't want you all up in their face. They just want like to hoop and talk shit. Like they gonna do it anyways in the summer.
Yeah.
So like you start bringing some of them dudes onto the scene. Now you really start seeing some of the stuff that you start seeing like some good stuff. But it's gonna take some money to make some money.
Right.
Because them dudes sometimes they want the bag. For example, Bones. He was like, I'll do it for free. I was like, what? My Vegas boy, he was just like, yeah, I'll pull up. And obviously, you got to pay a guy like that, but he just loves playing. And so, once you start bringing those guys on the scene, because eventually it'll run dry. We ran out of matchups. It was Ballers Life East versus Ballers Life West. How many times are we gonna run that matchup?
Right.
It was what's the Cam long hair? Cam Waters team versus whatever team. It was in the lab versus where, and it's just like it's only like 16.
Right.
There's only like 16. There was ways to do it, but you needed like more characters. You needed more channels to build up.
Yeah. So one-on-one players and storyline. So we just have to build up like more players so that it can.
Next chapter is doing it. Off the dribble is kind of doing it to where they're finding like these guys, like they're going city to city, especially next chapter. And like trying to make a war zone out of it, trying to get a guy's personality. And probably what you've seen, some of them dudes just don't want to have that personality, but you kind of need it for viewership and all that type of stuff. So, it comes with a certain sense of, all the stuff that we're talking about. You got to have it in order to build these characters up, but it's doable. I'm at the beginning of all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I did this a long time ago, so like just kind of building up characters that people never thought they would care about. And once you do that, then you build the interest, and people want to keep track and follow along. You know what I'm saying? So everybody's just trying to make dollars, but the thing is, like you gotta like work together. Like for example, this all goes to shit because people don't want to work together. I promise you, bro. Like the 5-on-5, people just didn't want to work together. Yeah, the 1-on-1 will do the same thing. I like what Ballers Life and Off the Dribble are doing right now, where they're having matchups to where they collab on it. And I'm starting to see the numbers go back up, and it's cool because this is the stuff that people want to see. So,
Right.
anyways, everybody's kind of doing their own thing. It'd just be great if they could figure out ways to work together and tie. It's like tying Marvel and DC.
No, you're right.
If it ever did it, it'd be hard.
Collaborating is definitely something that boosts viewership. There's no doubt. Like, I feel
100%. There's a lot of different channels out there. Let me just think like off the top. Not even the beach with my work. I'm gonna go in a second, but there's Next Chapter. There's Off the Dribble. There's Baller's Life. There's June's League. There's Street Stars. There's one more I'm not thinking of that I was watching the other day. Whatever. So you got five to seven channels. If they really start learning how to merge all this stuff and make characters. But like I will say this too. It kind of waters down the product when you got guys on Next Chapter not winning on nowhere else. I'm just telling it like it is, too.
Yeah.
Waters it down.
Yeah.
So, anyways, man, what do you think? What do you think? Like, you think the best way is obviously Next Chapter, right?
I think that. Well, I'm not like a spokesperson, so I don't want my words to be taken.
It's not about that, but it's what you think.
I think that Next Chapter is just trying to create something like their own ecosystem, and I think that some of the collaborative blocks are just based off of relationships that haven't gone great.
This is where I've been through every wave of YouTube. It happens so often, bro.
Yeah.
It happens so often. Why me and Baller's Life and In the Lab never happened? We were supposed to do a 5-on-5. You know why it happened?
What?
Couldn't agree on the money.
Right.
Who's that happening with right now? You see what I'm talking about? Yeah. So like it's got to be a time where you got to figure things out, and it's just like that's a big regret that I have. But like at the same time, like I value myself. Like you got to value yourself, but at the same time, you got to figure out like if it's a collab, it's a collab. That's why I love Friga, bro. When me and Friga did this for the first time, I was like, we're just gonna do it down there. He's like, okay. He understood off top.
Right.
The other times that I brought him out, I couldn't necessarily give him like, because there were other players, but like I made sure I paid him as much as I could because I know his value, I know his worth. Like if I give 15 to 20K, like just to come out and play Mario Thomas, like I feel like I did my job. Like that's pretty good, bro. Like you know what I'm saying?
For one game,
15 to 20 or whatever, even if it was just 10, like. I feel like I did my job in terms of the collaboration because I got a big pot. Let me distribute this the right way. So it is what it is. I hope they make it happen though. Because who you got? Who you got first? I think you got Nas, right? You got Nas or Friga?
Man, I mean, I think Friga definitely has a puncher's chance because he can just shoot the ball the way he can. I think Friga's a better shooter than Nas.
But Nas play up though.
But Nas does. Yeah, he does. He does play up. I would say I would give the edge to Nas. Maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I also just feel. Huh?
Why?
Just from what I've seen, like just for he doesn't lose. I feel like is always really well. I don't know. Both guys share a lot of the same things. Like Friga is always poisoned his ones. I don't know.
Okay, hold on. I want to get rid of something. By the way, I want to get rid of the Friga don't pull up and play anywhere. I think that's the stupidest thing I heard this year. What are we talking about?
I agree. Even in like
before the Next Chapter, Friga was going hood to hood, which are the trenches, right?
Exactly.
Like he was going everywhere to play. That's why I'm hearing people say, like, "What the fuck are they talking about?"
Right.
Like,
right.
So now he's built him and Scotty have built a platform, but they're still low key playing what people consider the trenches, or is it just people standing in the key? Like you know what I'm saying? Like no, I want to get rid of that whole narrative. That's out. But anyways, so you got Nas. Yeah, that's tough because Nas Friga just could shoot so well. He could shoot with you right there.
Right.
But I know Nas is gonna make it. I think it's 30 to 29.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely
28, 30 to 29.
Yeah, Friga can win. There's no doubt. I'm not saying he can't win. I would just say yeah, like you said, 1 or 2 points,
It
Nas's
comes
way. 32.
down to the rules that they play.
Yeah, that too.
You get next chapter rules is gonna favor Frigga. If you get Nas Street Stars, it's gonna favor Nas because like he know how to use them fouls. He plays physical. He plays up. He takes away twos.
Mm-hmm.
What line are they playing from? Because Frigga jumps more on his shots. So he can shoot over you. Nas doesn't jump as much from the three. Now Frigga's taking that away. That favors Frigga a little bit more. But like I love how we're talking about it, right? We don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why it should happen because it's creating like the dialogue and I think that you
B.
and BLS, you guys are fucking up if you don't become the first take of all this shit while it's hot, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think. Because there's matchups happening like how many years like so many matchups happening. You guys should be the first take.
Right.
So I don't know, but yeah, I'm a Frigga guy, so I got Frigga winning that, but I could see it going either way. That's why I think multiple matchups should happen, so we can really
Mm-hmm.
know. You know how this one-on-one stuff goes. Somebody can get hot
That's
one
what I'm
day.
saying.
Yeah,
Like,
that's why I think it should be a series.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, in ones, that's what impresses me about Nas is that he hasn't really taken more L's just because I know it can really go either way so many times. You know what I'm saying?
No, it doesn't surprise me for him or school. It doesn't surprise me because what I learned when I play people, I make them look worse. So you see the comments saying like, "This dude's sorry." No, they're not. It's just I know how to play one-on-one. All I do.
Yeah,
Literally, I don't even play 5-on-5 anymore. All I do is play one-on-one. So I understand how to take certain things that people want to do from the get-go. If I get your first dribble to go backwards,
uh-huh.
you're fried. Yeah. So now all I got to do is play you for 2 more dribbles,
Yeah,
and then I'm ready for the shot. So like.
yeah,
Then you get the rest aspect. They're not even gonna see you hit them on the elbow most of the time.
yeah.
So like School, Nesco, and Nas really understand how to play. I was seeing School tell it was some video. He was like, oh, it was in our gym. He was like, he was telling Day Day to run at the dude. So he's like, back up, get the ball at like the volleyball line. And the
Mm,
dude didn't want to go up to guard because who wants to guard somebody from the volleyball line?
right.
So he's like, yeah, just get the ball, run at him. And the dude couldn't. That's why they didn't win
Yeah,
the game. You know what I'm saying?
would you rather see the game played like under a tighter whistle or no, or just more physical, more fouling? What would you want to see?
It's really tough. I don't want it to feel like the trenches because the trenches is just too. It's just too much. Like the wrap ups. That gotta go. That's how you get people hurt. That's why I'm telling you, bro. I be talking to these dudes. That's why some of the NBA players do not want to play